1966, the year of victory. The year the Kansas City Chiefs swept to the championship of the American Football League with a spectacular 12-2-1 record, and in the process brought Kansas City the first Major League title in its history. It was a fitting reward to the fans whose tremendous support resulted in the Chiefs setting a Western Division season ticket record. More than a league championship was at stake in 1966. By topping these 8 American League teams, Hank Stram's Chiefs earned the right to a coveted berth in the Super Bowl, the first world championship of professional football. These are the men, the 1966 Chiefs. Exciting, entertaining, explosive. Dubbed the scoring machine by newsmen, they featured pro football's highest scoring and most imaginative offense, and a defense whose ability to come up with a big play was unmatched in its league. The Chiefs had more than their share of individual stars. The AFL's leading passer, 2 of the league's top 4 receivers, 3 of the top 10 rushers, the top 2 pass interceptors. However, as Coach Stram has continually emphasized, a championship is not won by individuals. It is a product of teamwork. Teamwork that originates with the head coach and carries through to every member of the squad. This is their story. The story of a championship. The prologue to this story begins with a coach and his plan. A plan that was dependent on several factors for success. Coach Stram talked about those factors in a training camp interview last July.
You know, actually, I feel very enthusiastic and optimistic about our upcoming season, but we must improve and grow in several key areas, including maturity and leadership. It's imperative that we answer the running back question that was created by the untimely death of Mac Lee Hill. Bert Cohn and Mike Garrett must come through. Otis Taylor must provide the deep and consistent threat at the flanker position. We must fill the cavity at defensive end with Chuck Hurston or Aaron Brown. It's imperative that we acquire quality line depth, both offensively and defensively, and our place kicking must improve and our squad remain injury-free.
The season began on a high note with the Chiefs meeting the defending AFL champion Buffalo Bills at War Memorial Stadium. Veteran Len Dawson, a rejuvenated Bert Cohn, second-year man Otis Taylor, and rookie Mike Garrett all played key roles in the opener. These are the players that Coach Stram said must produce if the Chiefs were to have a big year. Number 23 in action on this 32-yard run was the game's leading ball carrier with 101 yards on 11 carries. Garrett set a Kansas City record on a dazzling 79-yard punt return, which broke the game wide open. Mike commented on his first pro game.
It was a great thrill for me to be able to make a contribution to the team so early in the season. I was quite nervous, and going all the way on that punt return did a great deal for my confidence.
After Garrett's run, the Chiefs added 2 more touchdowns and were off and running. Final score, Kansas City 42, Buffalo 20. On September 18th, the Chiefs helped Oakland dedicate its new stadium. The heroics of the Chiefs' defensive unit highlighted the game. There was a key interception by Bobby Hunt. 2 blocked field goals by Fred Williamson and a blocked punt by Chuck Hurston paved the way for a Kansas City victory. Fred Arbanis accounted for 2 of the Chiefs' touchdowns on passes from Len Dawson. Mike Garrett had the game's longest run, a 42-yard off-tackle scamper for a touchdown. Final score, Kansas City 32, Oakland 10. The Boston game, the Chiefs' 3rd successive road contest, saw Kansas City in white jerseys jump off to a 17-0 first quarter lead. The Patriots, behind veteran quarterback Babe Parilli, came back strong. Late in the 4th quarter, with the Chiefs' lead cut to 6 points, Kansas City faced a 3rd and 5 situation on its own 25. Len Dawson hit tight end Reg Carolyn for 31 yards and a first down. After this clutch play, the Chiefs went on to score 2 more touchdowns. Dawson, utilizing Hank Stram's famous moving pocket, completed 20 passes in 32 attempts for 291 yards and 5 touchdowns. Blue-fingered Chris Burford caught 3 touchdown passes and tied his own single-game high with 11 receptions. The game plan was explained by Len Dawson in a post-game interview.
Going into this game, Boston was leading the league in rushing defense, so we knew we had to put the football in the air to beat them.
The Chiefs, in first place after 3 straight victories on the road, were back home at Municipal Stadium to face the Buffalo Bills. The largest gathering ever to witness a sporting event in Kansas City, a crowd of 43,885 was on hand to greet them. The capacity crowd was barely seated when Len Dawson connected with Otis Taylor on a 71-yard touchdown pass, and the Chiefs led 7-0. With a minute and 7 seconds to go in the first quarter, Kansas City scored again as Dawson passed 15 yards to Curtis McClendon to put the Chiefs out in front 14-6. However, Kansas City failed to cross the Bills' goal line the rest of the afternoon. This proved to be Buffalo's day. Jack Kemp threw for 2 touchdowns, and the Bills' 1-2 running punch of Ray Carlton and Bobby Burnett dropped Kansas City to 2nd place with its first defeat of the year, 29-14. To be a champion, you must be able to bounce back from defeat. The Chiefs rebounded from their loss to Buffalo with a convincing win over the Denver Broncos. Quarterback John McCormick, under heavy pressure from the Chiefs' defense, failed to mount a scoring drive. Mike Garrett electrified the crowd with a 61-yard touchdown run on a draw play. The Broncos' only touchdown came on a sensational 100-yard kickoff return by Nehemiah Wilson. On October 16th, the Chiefs were tied for first place in the AFL's Western Division with a 4-1 record when the Oakland Raiders came to town eager to avenge a 32-10 loss to the Chiefs. Raiders' stout defense and an offense sparked by quarterback Tom Flores handed the Chiefs their second defeat in 3 games, dropping Kansas City to second place. The Chiefs' only touchdown came when Jerry Mays hit Purvis Atkins, causing a fumble, and Bobby Bell picked up the loose ball and scored. The Oakland game ended the Chiefs' first homestand. When the Chiefs boarded their United charter for Denver, they had their backs to the wall. They must rebound from the Oakland defeat with a victory in order to stay in contention for the championship. The Chiefs make good use of the time they spend in the air. The players combine relaxation with study and discussion of their individual opponents and overall team strategy. The Chiefs bounced back from the Oakland loss with a tremendous effort against Denver. Bert Cohn scored 4 touchdowns in the greatest performance of his pro career. Watch Cohn set up his blockers on this 19-yard run. Aaron Brown, 6'5" and 270, showed his great speed when he caught sprinter Lewis Scott on a kickoff return. Pete Beathard demonstrated his speed and running ability on a 56-yard keeper play that caught the Bronco defense by surprise. The Chiefs' potent offense racked up 56 points, their highest output of the season, while the defense held the Broncos to a touchdown and a field goal. The victory over Denver, combined with San Diego's loss to Boston, boosted the Chiefs back into first place. On October 30th, the Chiefs engaged the Houston Oilers in the first game of a 4-game homestand. One of the main ingredients for a championship team is depth. The Chiefs proved they had this in abundance as Reg Carolyn, subbing for the injured Fred Arbanis, snared 2 touchdown passes, and the symbol of the Wolfpack roared its approval. Pete Beathard, who relieved Len Dawson, passed for 2 more touchdowns. The game featured some of the season's most spectacular plays. Johnny Robinson intercepted a George Blanda pass, returned it 19 yards to the Chiefs' 40. Then lateral to Willie Mitchell, who raced the rest of the way for a touchdown behind a series of key blocks. Mike Garrett, the AFL's top breakaway threat, scampered 77 yards for the longest run from scrimmage in the league. Otis Taylor, who led the AFL receivers with an average of 22.4 yards per catch, had a fantastic day with 5 receptions for 189 yards, the top single-game yardage mark of the AFL season. November 6th. The Chiefs were leading the Western Division, but their arch rival, the San Diego Chargers, were in hot pursuit. Only 1/2 game off the pace. It was a must game for both teams. A standing room only crowd was again on hand at Municipal Stadium to cheer the Chiefs on to victory. Kansas City scored first. But San Diego tied the game on a Hadel to Allworth pass. Sparked for the passing of Len Dawson, charged to a 24-7 lead at halftime and held on for their 7th win of the year. The victory over the Chargers solidified the Chiefs' hold on first place and provided a spark that was to carry them to a championship. The Miami Dolphins, the AFL's newest team, became the 4th straight opponent to fall before the surging Chiefs. Len Dawson connected for 3 touchdown passes, one of which led to a spectacular 89-yard touchdown by Otis Taylor. Kansas City secondary turned in its top effort of the year, picking off 6 Dolphin passes to tie an AFL single-game record. Chiefs concluded their home season against the Boston Patriots in what was probably the most exciting pro football game ever played in Kansas City. The game had everything: excitement, drama, violent action, suspense, the unusual, and the unbelievable. Frank Pitts blocked a Boston punt and returned it for the game's first touchdown. Incredibly, Tom Musick missed the ball while attempting to punt. Otis Taylor made a sensational one-handed catch of a Dawson pass for a touchdown. Dawson showed his great poise under pressure as he avoided several onrushing linemen and calmly hit Mike Garrett on what proved to be a long gainer. Kansas City took a 27-24 lead with 2 minutes to play on another Dawson to Taylor pass. But with 18 seconds to go, Gino Cappelletti kicked a 19-yard field goal, forcing the Chiefs to settle for a tie. When the Chiefs left for New York to play the Jets, they needed a victory to ensure themselves of a tie for the Western Division title. Mike Mercer's toe was the difference in this game. The sure-footed veteran connected on 4 field goals and 3 conversions, good for 15 points. Chiefs withstood a second-half aerial barrage by Joe Namath to preserve a Kansas City victory and run the Chiefs' string of unbeaten games to 6. Later that day, San Diego lost to Denver, and the Charger defeat coupled with the Kansas City victory gave the Chiefs the Western Division title. With the division title already clinched, it would have been easy for the Chiefs to let down in their final 2 games. However, the pride and determination that made them champions drove them to victory. Behind 18-13 at Miami with 2 minutes to go, they rallied for a 19-18 win on a Dawson to Burford pass. Fred Williamson ended Miami's last scoring opportunity with this interception and dazzling bit of strategy. The Chiefs wound up the regular season against the Chargers in San Diego. With Curtis McClendon and Mike Garrett leading the way, Kansas City put on one of its most impressive power displays of the year. Garrett gained 161 yards to tie for second in the league in rushing. This combination proved too much for the Chargers. The Chiefs extended their unbeaten streak to 8 straight and ended the season undefeated on the road, keeping their momentum intact with a big championship game with Buffalo. Final score, Kansas City 27, San Diego 17. A frigid New Year's Day in Buffalo found the Chiefs slight favorites to capture their second AFL championship in 5 years. Buffalo had won the league title the past 2 years and was determined to repeat. The Chiefs capitalized on the Bills' fumble of the opening kickoff as Gerald Wilson recovered on the Buffalo 31. Three plays later, Dawson hit Fred Arbanis for a touchdown, and the Chiefs led 7-0. Midway in the first quarter, Buffalo came back to tie the score on a Kemp to DeBenion pass that covered 69 yards. Regained the lead when Dawson passed to Taylor, and the fleet flanker bowled his way to a touchdown. With 2 minutes to go in the first half, Buffalo was knocking at the Chiefs' goal. Johnny Robinson explained what happened next.
Jack Spikes was my man on pass coverage, and when he committed himself to block E.J. Hollab, it freed me to help in the secondary. And I was lucky enough at the time to read Kemp's eyes and intercept the pass.
Robinson's interception and a 72-yard return set up the field goal that gave the Chiefs a 17-7 lead at halftime. Early in the final period, Dawson passed to Burford for a first down on the Buffalo 4. Then Mike Garrett applied the knockout blow, and after 3 smashes at the goal line, he folded over from 1 yard out to give the Chiefs a commanding 24-7 lead. The Chiefs' hard-hitting defense, outstanding all day, provided Kansas City with its final scoring opportunity when Fred Williamson hit Glenn Bass, causing a fumble, and Bobby Hunt picked up the ball and returned it to the Bills' 21. Garrett added the touchdown shortly thereafter on a spectacular exhibition of broken field running, reversing his field to score from the Bills' 18. The final score, Kansas City 31, Buffalo 7, and the Chiefs were Super Bowl bound. History was made at the Los Angeles Coliseum on January 15th. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers for the championship of the world. The Packers, rated by many experts the greatest team in the history of pro football, were heavy favorites. But the Chiefs showed that they came to play on the opening series of downs when first Buck Buchanan, then Bobby Bell and Jerry Mays dropped Bart Starr for consecutive losses. Green Bay scored first, midway in the opening quarter when Max McGee made an unbelievable one-handed catch of a Starr pass. Chiefs gave the 5,000 Kansas Cityans who made the trip west plenty to cheer about when they tied the score early in the second period with Dawson passing to McClinton for a touchdown. Taylor touchdown. With the Chiefs, with Dawson connecting to Fred Arbanis, Otis Taylor, and Chris Burford, moved into Green Bay territory. With time running out, Mike Mercer kicked a 31-yard field goal, and the score at halftime was Green Bay 14, Kansas City 10. The Chiefs had momentum on their side when the second half started and promptly moved to a first down. With 3rd and 5 on their own 49, Dawson threw a flat pass to Arbanis. Packer safety Willie Wood intercepted and returned to the Chiefs 5. Elijah Pitts drove over left tackle on the next play for a touchdown to give the Packers a 21-10 lead. After Pitts' touchdown, the tide of battle turned. With Starr hitting his receivers on key third down situations, the Packers marched to 2 more touchdowns to make the final score Green Bay 35, Kansas City 10. '66 was a great year. The Chiefs won the AFL championship. Hank Stram was named Coach of the Year. 9 of the Chiefs, Len Dawson, Otis Taylor, Jim Tyre, Fred Arbanis, and Ed Buddy from the offense, and Johnny Robinson, Bobby Bell, Buck Buchanan, and Jerry Mays from the defense were named to all-league berths. Kansas City set an all-time Western Division attendance record of 259,000, an average of over 37,000 per game. Yes, 1966 was a great year. But for the thousands of Chiefs fans, the future holds even greater promise. The Chiefs are a young team, but an experienced one. They are a team of great pride and determination. They are a team with one goal and one goal only, to bring the World Championship to Kansas City.